friend. My name is Jim, and my wife Barbara and I are coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Several months ago, a friend of ours had shared a video with us on retiring to Lake Chapala, Mexico. Well, anytime that the word Mexico came up in conversations with my wife and I said, I am not interested in moving to Mexico. So we watched this video, and the more times we watched it, the more interested we became. And we ended up watching other videos on Lake Chapala, Mexico, like houses for sale and the internet service and how bad it was, about getting cell phone service, about getting a bank account. But we didn't find one video in regards to what to expect, what to be looking for here in Lake Chapala, Mexico on our visit. So with limited information, what we did was we left April the 5th and came to Lake Chapala, Mexico. We were here until the 13th, so it was 8 days. And the number one reason of this video is so we can take our experience and then share it with you. Because I would imagine that if you're looking at retiring to another state or country, it'd be good to have information about what it is that you're going to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover several subjects of things that not only were important questions for us to get answered, but what I've found is for other retirees, the importance to them too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about anxiety and how to get over anxiety. I'm going to talk about the cartels and what's the truth about the cartels. Is Lake Chapala, Mexico safe? About immigration, and if you're coming into Mexico, do you just need a passport? Do you need a passport and a visa? If so, what kind? We're going to talk about transportation to be able to get around the lakeside, where to stay, also weather, and the best time of the year to visit Lake Chapala, and how to pack. We're going to talk about healthcare. Those of us that are in our 60s and above, healthcare is an important subject to us. Eating out, everybody's favorite subject. And what we're going to do is we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to take you to restaurants that we've been to and give you the experience of what they look like on the inside. We're going to talk about Lake Chapala Society. Now, this is a series and a group of expats that are in an area of the location here in town that they do everything from having a lush garden to having a library, to having a DVD library, having activities, having concerts, and they have a cafe too. So we're going to cover that in more detail for you. We're going to talk about meeting with a realtor and why that's important. You'll want to, if you have any kind of an interest in moving to Lake Chapala, Mexico, you're going to want to know about the lay of the land, where the best parts is if you want to buy a house or renting a house or renting a condo, whatever that may be. And I'm also encourage you to come for a week, and I'm going to talk about why that's so important. So I'm excited about this video, and I know you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So let's get started. Hello, friend. Jim again, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico, in an effort to provide you some real value, even more than what I'll be sharing with you later in this video. But the majority of us are visual, and I thought, you know what, I shot some videos. I might as well take some snippets, put those together, and offer those as kind of a way for you to see a little bit about Lake Chapala, Mexico. It's probably 7-8 minutes, somewhere around there, but I think you'll really enjoy it. It's going to give you a bigger picture of the low cost of living here and the wide variety of lifestyle choices that you can partake of and be a part of. It's already got an excellent and established expat community. There's great and easy access to excellent shopping and restaurants here, lakeside living. So I'm going to give you some views of the lake, views of the Malecon, which is like the boardwalk here at Lake Chapala, colors of Mexico. And also, again, we're going to be going into some restaurants. So what you'll do is take a watch of this video. I think you're really going to love it. And we'll talk to you later on in the video. See you there.
sí! ¡Ay, ja, ja! ¡Sí, señor! sí! ¡Ay, ja, ja! ¡Sí, señor! ¡Claro que sí! ¡Ay, ja, ja! ¡Sí, señor! ¡Claro que sí! ¡Ay, ja, ja! ¡Sí, señor!
Okay, now you've had the opportunity of seeing some videos about Lake Chapala. I'm really excited about this portion of the video. Why is that? Because I know what our concerns were. I've actually asked other expats that have come that what their concerns were before they came. And so I'm basically putting them all in a video. And the notes I took when we were on the plane as we were going back home, I mean, all these different ideas and things have all come together, and that's what this video is all about. So my wife and I, we were in our 60s, and we had not been to Lake Chapala, Mexico before. In fact, we hadn't even been out of the country together before. So we left on very limited information. We were so concerned, really, that we didn't want our family to worry about it, so we didn't even let them know that we were going. I can remember sitting at LAX airport just hoping that we were making the right decision. So I'm sure that everybody experiences some form of anxiety. So I've got a little visual here, visual aid, that will kind of share with you what in fact I'm talking about. So when we have high anxiety, it's because we have low knowledge. So under high anxiety, you can see there how it causes stress. You have the fear of the unknown. You're in a different country. What about the cartels? What's the crime like? Will I be safe? What should I expect? Do I need visa? So on the bottom right, it says low knowledge. So they're unanswered questions. And so when we don't have our questions answered, we have anxiety. If you look at the top right, you're going to see high knowledge. Because in the bottom left, the reason it's low anxiety is because now we know the facts. The proper expectations have been set. What to anticipate on our trip. A better awareness, more understanding of the country. Crime and safety concerns have been addressed. Okay, let's now cover the immigration and the airport. As you can see in the first slide, all you'll need to board the plane at whatever airport you're at is going to be your passport and your airline ticket. As you're in flight, you will be given an FMM card. You're going to fill this out. When you land and you get to immigration, they're going to take the top half, they're going to give you the bottom half, they're going to stamp it and then stamp the passport. This is your tourist visa. This visa is good for 180 days of your stay in Mexico. Now, once you're done with your stay and you go to get the airport and you're on your way back, they're going to take that FMM card back, which is your tourist visa. You'll board the plane and you will be legally leaving the country. Now, let's talk about the airport. I don't know about you, but having a clean airport's really important. And I saw this rinky-dink airport is what my thought was. But once we got to Guadalajara, I was so impressed with how clean it was, how modern, and it really left an impression upon me. Now, the good thing is that the Guadalajara airport is only about a half an hour away from Lake Chapala. As you can see, there's several different airlines that fly in. There's Volaris, Aeromexico, Viva Autobus, Delta, and American Airlines. Now, once you've been here in Mexico and you're leaving, I think you're going to have a really good idea of what your experience was like, and I hope that this video will be a part of that experience for you. So let's go ahead and talk about the next subject. Okay, so let's go ahead and change gears and let's talk about the crime in Mexico. As you see that chart in front of you, I'm going to explain that in just a moment for you, but I just want to let you know that cities with high crime rate doesn't mean that you can't live in a good or better area. People like you and I move into those cities anyway and don't even think of crime. So I was very surprised and comforted that the numbers I found regarding living lakeside to be so diminished. Yes, there are cartels. Yes, they do bad things. But if you're not selling drugs, you're not looking for drugs, you're not looking at getting involved in the gang and fighting over territory, they fight amongst themselves. The authorities want to keep Lake Chapala clean and safe because of the expat community has over 15 to 20,000 strong. So we are here and we boost the economy, and the state does not want to lose that monetary source. So the police force here is very, very visual, and they drive around in trucks and they've got guns. So the feeling about being unsafe really isn't there. So hopefully by the end of this information here, that kind of puts some comfort on you, maybe puts you a little bit at ease and also removes some anxiety. So let's take a look at the chart. As you will see on the left-hand side, these are cities that I took for crime rates, and they were the lower numbers. So let's just take a look at Stockton that has 1,397 violent crimes per year per 100,000 residents. Now, I looked into the 2019 census for Stockton, California. They have over 300,000 residences. So if we take 1,397 occurrences times 3, that's over 4,191 violent crimes every year. Now, do people move to Stockton? Yes. Do people hear about the crime? Yes. But it isn't something that necessarily keeps them from moving there. So let's take a look at the lakeside of Ajijic and Chapala. There are only 62,177 occupants per the 2020 census. Over the last 2 years, there have been 2 violent crimes committed here in Ajijic and Chapala. But yet, people move to these cities every day. I purposely chose not to include numbers from known violent cities such as Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami, Houston. So the subject of crime, yes, it's there. But unless you're looking for it, it won't find you. So again, I hope this kind of gives you some comfort, puts you at ease, and even maybe help remove some anxiety. So let's go ahead now and talk about the next subject. Okay, so now let's talk about transportation options. One would be renting a car. You would rent it at the airport itself. And the drive to Lake Chapala is about a half-hour drive. And if you want to drive from Lakeside, Lake Chapala to Guadalajara, it's about an hour drive. So rent a car is one option of transportation. Also bike lanes. Now, I've never seen so many bikes on a road, and everybody here is like they're bicycling everywhere. So there are actually specific areas where the bikers and the walkers can actually be away from the street and be protected in regards to their activity. So, and there's a lot of places that you can rent bikes from and also have bikes fixed. There's also those that ride motorcycles. So that is one of the options for you. Also buses. Now, buses and taxis here go very, very often. You can see them all up and down the Carretera, which is the main road here in Lakeside. And you see them all the time. Taxis, buses, all over the place. And also Uber. Now, I've not actually seen anybody or met somebody that does Uber, but I've seen business cards from individuals that have their names on them and phone numbers. So Uber would also be an option for you. So these are the 4 options for transportation, and I hope you find one that'll work best for you. Let's now talk about our next subject. Okay, so now let's talk about accommodations and where to stay. First, due to the tourists, there are lots of Airbnbs to choose from, a lot of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link below that will actually make it easier for you to choose a place that will be best suited for you. Some things to take into consideration, that is this, the distance to the lake. If biking or walking, how about restaurants, shopping? Pretty much those things are all around if you're in the center of those Ajijic and Chapala. If you're taking a bus or if you're driving, it opens up to you some other traveling options. Guadalajara is the second largest city in Mexico. It's only an hour away. And there are buses that you can pick up in Chapala and also Ajijic that will take you directly to the city. So it's really a popular place. There's a lot of tourists that comes from Guadalajara. Just they get away for a little bit just to kind of relax and get away from the city. So lots of options to stay for your trip. Okay, so we have covered anxiety, the airport, immigration, crime and the cartels, transportation, and where to stay. Now what we're going to do is switch gears and talk about the weather and how to pack on your trip. Now, I want to right up front just let you know that the average year-round temperature here is 72 degrees. And National Geographic actually marked it as being the second best climate in the world. It's because we're a mile high and surrounded by mountains. So that's what gives it a very mild climate. Now, it's also the number 2 place for expats to retire in Mexico. So, due to the temperature, shorts and flip-flops are like the best thing around, what everybody is wearing here. So it is very pleasant. Now, in looking at the weather, if you take a look at February through March, it's ideal because it's in the low to mid 70s. April to May, it's warmer and it's in the low to mid 80s. June through September, it's the rainy season. And I got to tell you, we've been here now for 2 months. It's been amazing days, blue skies with rain at night, and everything keeps so nice and green. So looking at October through May, it's a drier side of the year. And December through February, which is called the winter, is in the mild low to mid 70s. And then looking at October through November, the fall, it's in the low 70s. So just by looking at this and realizing that you can come pretty much any of the months that you desire to come, this is how you'll pack accordingly. That is one of the biggest reasons why people come and stay in Ajijic and Mexico, is because of the fact it's the place to be, Lake Chapala, Mexico. Okay, so let's go ahead in this video. Let's talk about Mexican money. The best thing I can say in starting out here is it's all about the US dollar and exchanging that into the Mexican peso. So the dollar is very strong here. In fact, for $1 US, you can get 20 pesos. So I'll be sharing with you some things that 20 pesos can actually do for you. So there's an exchange rate that takes place here in Mexico, and it hovers. The US dollar gets between 18, 19, and 20 pesos per US dollar. So it does fluctuate. So, but I would just share with you about getting somewhat familiar with the Mexican buying power. And what I'm going to do is, just you're looking here at this slide, you can see that the dollar bill's worth 20 pesos. So $5 is worth 100, $10 worth 200, and $50 is 1,000. So when you go have a meal, your meal could be as little as 75 or 80 pesos, which means it isn't even $5. So that's one of the ways that you're able to eat for less here, for example, because of the fact of the strength of the dollar. Now, you can see there the equivalence between dollars, US dollars, and pesos, but there's also the coins. And as you can see, each one of those, so like the one that's on the top right there, it starts out, it says 5C or 5 cents. That's actually 5 pesos. So the value of each one of those coins is the value that is actually showing on the coin. So that's kind of letting you an idea of what the money is like. Now, on the next slide here, what I've included is to be able to get US dollars and turn them into Mexican pesos, you go to an ATM. Now, what you would do is you'd put your debit card in, you go to one of these ATMs, goes to a bank, and what it does is you put on there how many pesos that you want, and it takes your US dollar and turns it in. Well, it takes the US dollar from the States that's already on your debit card, and then it turns it in what the pesos are. So the ATMs are very, very easily accessible, or they got them all over the place. And as a matter of fact, just on the subject of money and the peso, Forbes magazine, apparently in the last 6 months ago, put out that the average full meal in Ajijic in Chapala is $6, a full meal for $6. And we have found that to be true. So, okay, so now this video is going to be all about Mexico healthcare. Now, as you can see there on the top right-hand side, it says free. I've been asked about that, and yes, there's free health services here in Mexico. And a new service that's actually been changed is called INSABI, and this is the Mexican public healthcare system. Now, just to the left, it shows level 1. And level 1, basic medical care and such, you can see there, is free. And in the level 2, you can see more severe, and that is also free. Now, if you look underneath Mexican public health system, you're going to see that care starts at a local clinic. And if it's major, you're then referred to a hospital. Now, because it is free, you've got to understand that you might expect long lines. They've run out of medication. rundown facility, and it just isn't the same as in the States. Now, level 3 is a lot more severe, and this is out of pocket, and there is no pre-existing condition issues. So that would be out of pocket. Now, let's go ahead and go over to the left side, and the Mexico's equivalent to the U.S. Social Security is called IMSS. Now, with this service, there's no pre-existing conditions allowed. So if you have blood issues, if you have diabetes, they do not cover that. So those who work in Mexico pay into it through their job. If they're self-employed and they want it, they can pay into it also, or it can be self-pay. Now, this is based solely on age. So as you can see on this chart and the different age groups. Now, I took 3 of the age groups and actually divided them out to show you exactly what it would cost monthly in US dollars. So age 50 to 59, it's 8,450 pesos. Divided by 20 is 422 US dollars, which is $21 a month. Ages 60 to 69, it's 12,250 pesos a year. Divided by 20 is 612 US dollars, or $51 a month. And age 80 and above, 12,750 pesos a year equals 637 US dollars, divided by 12 is $53 a month. So these are the 2 healthcare plans in Mexico. Okay, now this slide actually shows companies that I'm sure you're familiar with, health insurance companies that offer services in Mexico. So what you want to do is check with your present medical health care provider to find out if your health insurance is covered in Mexico. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link at the bottom of the video here so you can actually see if in fact if your healthcare provider is providing health insurance in Mexico. Now, something else I was kind of surprised about, and that is I take a medication. It goes for $1,200 a month. I found out here at the Guadalajara pharmacy here locally, Lakeside, it was only $95. And there's something else here. I was able to find that most medications are filled with no prescription. That was really interesting. Okay, and to close out healthcare in Mexico, I've actually included a couple of short video clips of the 2 medical facilities here at Lakeside. So I hope this has been helpful for you on the subject of healthcare in Mexico. Let's go ahead and go on to our next subject. Okay, as mentioned, there are 2 hospitals here at Lakeside. This one here in Riberas, and the second one here is in San Antonio. Both of them, as you can tell, are very new looking. And also there's a pharmacy too. I will just tell you though, these hospitals, they're up to date, they're very modern, they're well staffed. And the pharmacy, I've actually got medications from them myself. So I hope this has helped, talking about health insurance, health care, and the hospitals here, Lakeside, Lake Chapala, Mexico. Okay, we're going to change gears a little bit here and talk about something fun, and that's eating. When my wife and I came the first time, we were told that it's cheaper to eat out than it is to eat at home. And now that we've moved here, we find that very much to be the truth. So we're just going to take you to some of the restaurants that we've been to that we feel that might be a nice one for you to try out when you're here. So the first is called Los Palmas, and it's a pizza place. It's right off the Libermente, which is one of the main highways, kind of set back away from the street. We understand this place is really, really popular. We were there at a time, it was kind of like a low time for them. But they specialize in pizza, and as you get inside here, you'll see to the left that they have their own wood-burning oven. So very nice, get authentic pizza. And it's got a nice airy feel, eating under the umbrellas, and very nice family atmosphere. Very good food. And as you can see, it's pretty wide open, a lot of places to sit. Very great environment. Wonderful ambiance. Now we're going to go to Donnas Donuts, which is, Donnas means donut, so it's Donuts. And this is a very popular place. As you can see, they're seating outside, but this is actually a donut shop. They also serve breakfast and lunch. And we've never been there when they were really, really packed, but we know what it's like to get in there and it be full, which is more than what it is right now. A lot of Guadalajarians, what they do is when they leave the city and come out to Lake Chapala to kind of get away a little bit. And this is one of the places that we understand that they come to. This has a great selection of breakfast and lunch. Also, they've got great donuts and something for everyone's taste. And in a moment here, you'll be able to actually see back to through the little shop here how busy actually they are. And they've constantly always got people come in and they're always putting donuts out. So I guess it's a good sign. But a great place for you to possibly go to on your first trip to Lake Chapala. Now we're going to talk about Lake Taco. Lake Taco, you wouldn't know it unless you kind of saw a sign that sit back away from the highway, but very, very nice. Great ambiance. It's basically a taco bar, and what you do is you get the taco and also the tortilla and then the filling, the meat. And then what you do is you go to a bar, and they've got all kinds of hot sauces. They got all kinds of condiments to go into them. Here's a quick peek at their menu. But it's very, very nice. And again, it's outdoors and airy. And one of the best things about Mexico is because of the fact it's got incredible weather. During the day, it's always blue, always nice weather. Really and so cute, this is one of those ways of just kind of taking advantage of that and being able to sit out in the open air and underneath this tiki hut. And this also has great ambiance. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pan here to the left and you'll be able to see not only the green background, but also the lake and the mountains. So now let's go to our next, which is Casa Linda. Now, Casa Linda is one of those kind of finds that you wouldn't know about it if, in fact, you didn't know where it was at. Because it's down again one of these streets, down the side streets. Very, very nice. Great food. Open air also on the outside. Very clean. Again, you'd never guess that this was there. It's also got kind of a romantic feel about it too. Kind of a cozy feel. And they've got great food too. Very nice. Great place for breakfast. Now we're going to go to the American Legion. And this is a fun place to go. As you can tell, there's a lot of expats there. And the neat thing about this is it's easy to find friends and make friends. Great food, great prices, very reasonable. And it's a great place to go and meet new people. So now we're going to go to Adelitas. Now this is another one of those places that you didn't know where it was at, you would miss it. I on purpose gave a shot down the street and the building across the street and then what it looks like going up the street. And you would never know that this place is here. And wait until you see it on the inside, because I think you'll feel the same way that we did when we first were brought here on our first trip. Adelitas. Now as we come inside, something I should share with you is I was told that if you're going to come with a big group or at a busy time, you'll probably have to get reservations because of how popular it is. And they told us, don't worry, we got plenty of couches. So very, very nice. Very nice. It's clean, great food, spacious. It's a classy place, great ambiance. And there's some real interesting facts that this restaurant has, and that is part of the restaurant being built right around a couple of trees, huge trunk trees. And when I show a picture to the bar, you'll be able to see it here to the right. The trees are those ones that got all those yellow lights going around it. And but it's literally built right around it, which is really unique. So it even gives kind of a feel like you're out in the, I don't know, you're out in the vegetation having a meal. But very, very nice. Very nice seating. These are very, very comfortable chairs too. And the patio out and back is really, really nice. Again, the thing about the nice weather here is it's great to be outside and be able to eat outside in fresh air. So they've got a wonderful hedge that goes completely around the back, which gives you just a great feeling of being inside, and yet you're outside. Wonderful food. They've got great pizza. They've got great American food. And they also have great music too during the weekend. So now we're going to go to Scallions. And the Scallions has a lot of the same kind of feel. Scallions actually is really, really popular. We've learned from a couple of people, because we've only had breakfast here, but we've heard from some folks that during the weekend it gets really packed because they have bands. And you wouldn't know it by just sitting outside here like we like to do. But when you go inside, where they also serve lunch and dinner, they've got a wide open area and a lot of seating inside. So they have these bands, they got a bunch of tables, and I guess they got a bunch of dancing that goes on too. But a very large, nice facility. Very, very nice. It's also a classy place. And we were actually told too that, on the weekends, if you don't get reservations, somebody told us that they were having to get reservations at 9 o'clock at night. So that's pretty busy. So again, a great place to have. We have breakfast there. You get to watch people over at the street getting on the bus and such. So great people watching. Okay, now we're going to go to Eaves. Now here's another one of those places that unless you knew where it was at, you'd miss it. So as you can see the cobblestone here, that is actually the Carretera, which is the main highway. Now, because there's homes along here, you would think that this place is just another house. But what Eve has done is he's taken his house and turned it into a restaurant. Turned his entire landmark there into a restaurant. And yes, that's a donkey. He's got 2 of those on the property, actually. I actually show you the other one, too. Very lush, very nice grounds. You can come here also with big groups like you see there. Down here more to the left-hand side, you're going to see that under the trees and all, they've got kind of like their own cabanas, to where it kind of has a romantic set back away from everything. And very, very nice. Very nice. And again, you wouldn't know if this place is here. He's got a pool. And what he did was turn part of it into a fountain. So it's real easy to hear it. Very, very nice ambiance. Very nice. And as you can tell, being outside again is a really, really good plus when it comes to eating out in Lake Chapala, Mexico. So that's a little view of the places that we go to. We might hope that you found something that you'd like to meet Charming out. Let's go to the next subject now. So while we're talking on eating out, I thought I'd put together a little simple guide for tipping in Mexico. As you can see, pretty much the same kind of guidelines go for eating out, with a party of 1 to 5 or even 6 to 10. The bartender. On the bottom left is something you won't see in the States, and that is grocery and gas clerks. So when you're at Walmart and somebody's actually bagging your groceries, because people work for peanuts here. So to give them 2 to 5 pesos is standard. And also when you get gas here, it's full service, so you don't even have to get out of the car. But what you do is when you pay them, you can give them also an extra 2 to 5 pesos also. As you're at Walmart, you'll see guys that are out in the parking lots, and not just there, but other places, waving rags around with 5-gallon buckets. What they do is they do car washes. And it's pretty amazing because they really do a good job. But while you're inside shopping, they'll actually wash your car. And then when you come out, you've got a nice clean car. And you'd be giving them between 5 and 10 pesos. So just a few things on tipping in Lake Chapala. Okay, so now what we're going to talk about is meeting with a realtor. And this will be really important if, in fact, you'd like to get more of a feel of possibly moving here. So here at Lakeside, realtors offer a wide range of realty services. They don't just have homes for rent or homes for sale, but they also know where condos are for sale and condos are for rent. and even apartments are for rent. So they can actually take you around the lake so you have somewhat of an idea of where you would like to live. And part of what they do too is kind of focus on some areas. And the three main areas that we're talking about would be Chapala, Ajijic, and the Racket Club. Now, what I'd like to do is go to the next slide because this is really what's important. And these experiences that my wife and I had from our first trip after meeting with 3 realtors. I'm going to talk about renting first. So we found that if we're looking for a small studio or apartment, it'd be about $350 to $450 a month. For a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo, about $500 to $650 a month. For a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo or house, about $700 to $950 a month. A 3-bedroom, 3-bath condo or house, $1,000 to $1,500 a month. And a 4-bedroom house with a 4-bath is $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Now, what we found, not on all the houses that we visited, but on a good bunch of them, that they came furnished, which is a real plus. And that happens quite a bit here around the lake. Now, there are opportunities to where you can get into a place that's offering some incentives. Now, these incentives are not guaranteed, but I do want to let you know that there were several that we looked at that did have that opportunity. And that would be like to have utilities paid, whether it's electric, gas, water, possibly internet, cable TV, have a patio, a lake view. Some come with maid services or gardeners. Might have a pool or a jacuzzi, might be a gated community that has security. They'd have a clubhouse, a rec room, gym, and come possibly fuller, furnished. And so that's one of the reasons why there's a real benefit of renting. So now when it comes to buying, the realtor gave us a very interesting statistic. And that is that 42% of individuals that bought a house, they stated they should have rented first, gotten familiar with the lakeside living and desirable locations and options that would have been available to them. One other thing is that foreigners' purchase price is 100% cash. So if you're buying a $250,000 home, it's $250,000 cash. There is no financing options available. So for that reason, a lot of newcomers actually rent first. So we've covered meeting with a realtor and an overview of the properties and buying or selling. And so I hope that's been really helpful for you. Let's now go to the next subject. Okay, now I'm taking you to the Lake Chapala Society. This is managed and operated by expats for expats. This is an expat retreat that promotes and offers classes, group activities. They've got 2 libraries with books and CDs. They've got a cafe. They've got a beautiful lush gardens with ponds and waterfalls. There are tables throughout the ground. You can meet with new friends or read a book. They have concerts. They have parties. This is the Lake Chapala Society here at Lake Chapala.
Bye. So here's a list of activities that are done through the Lake Chapala Society. And then to the far right, these are other activities and clubs to join located here at Lake Chapala, Mexico. Okay, so here's what we've covered: anxiety and how to deal with anxiety, the Guadalajara airport, immigration, crime and the cartels, transportation trip, the Mexican pesos, healthcare, hospitals and pharmacy, eating out and tipping, meeting with a realtor, and the Lake Chapala Society. So now let's go ahead and bring this all together. So these next couple slides are going to be probably the most important 2 slides of this entire video. So let's go to it now. Okay, so at the beginning of this video, I shared with you exactly why, in fact, I was putting it together. So when my wife and I came to Lake Chapala our very first time, we came on limited information. We didn't really know a lot of the things that we wanted to know about that I've been sharing with you in this video. So the whole idea and the whole reason of this video was, in fact, to help set you at ease, to help relieve some stress. Maybe you know a little bit more now what to expect, to take your worries and concerns and basically eliminate those so you can actually relax and enjoy your visit here to Lake Chapala. Now, before there might have been some anxiety, and you might still have some anxiety, but when the anxiety is high, that means that the knowledge is low. But now that you've watched this video, you now have high knowledge because now you know facts, the proper expectations you know of, what to anticipate in different areas of your trip, a better awareness of the lakeside, more understanding of the country, and crime and safety concerns have been addressed. So the whole reason of this video is for you to feel a lot more comfortable about your trip here to Lake Chapala, Mexico. So now that we're bringing this video to close, there's something really important that I wanted to share with you, and that is talk to you about investing in yourself. I want to encourage you to come for a week. And here's the reason why. We came and we were here for 8 days, and those 8 days really made a difference for us because we were able to sum up the information like I've shared with you. This is a major life event that you're looking at. We left family behind, which I would imagine that you'd be doing too. But that's even part of why you want to come and be able to relax. Take it all in and enjoy the experience. Bring a camera. Capture the moments. Go out and walk the Malecon. Really get a good feel of lakeside living. You're looking to retire. It's a big decision. So I hope this video has been a blessing to you. I hope it's provided you with value and you feel more informed. My next video is going to be, okay, now you've made a decision to move to Lake Chapala, Mexico, and all the things that go into getting ready and preparing. I hope you have found value in this. I hope that you found that there was some information you were able to take in and somewhat put at ease.
Hello, friend. Jim here from Lake Chapala, Mexico. There you have it, the top 12 items that are going to be important for you to know about before you get to your first trip here to Lake Chapala. Now, I'm really new to making these videos. As a matter of fact, this is my first one. And in return for my time and effort, which there's a lot of it goes into this, I'm just going to ask that you hit the like button. And if you saw value in what the video has, I'm just going to ask you also to hit the subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss out on my next video. Now you've made the decision to move to Lake Chapala. Now what? Here's what my next video is going to cover. The Mexican consulate and how to get qualified and approved fast. The 10 things that you'll want to make sure that you know about before you go to the consulate. If you're driving or you're using a moving service, that will be an important decision for you to make. Now, if you are driving, there's 5 major things that you're going to want to know before you get to the border. 3 things on how to make your car legal. What are the costs? How to get here safe. Don't get ripped off like we did for almost $2,000. I don't want you to have to go through that. Okay, if you're selling everything, I want to give you some very valuable tips to be able to have a successful garage sale. Now, if you are driving, there's 5 major things that you're going to want to know before you get to the border. 3 things on how to make your car legal. What are the costs? How to get here safe. Don't get ripped off like we did for almost $2,000. I don't want you to have to go through that. If you're selling everything, I'm going to give you some valuable tips. And we sold everything within 1 weekend. And I say everything. We had 2 10 by 20 foot storage units chocked full of things. We sold a car, a house full of furniture, a washer and dryer. We sold household items, clothes, a canopy, and so much more. So much more. So what I want to do is, this part of the video will be very, very well chock full of information for you to also have a successful garage sale. So there you have it. A full video chock full of all kinds of value. I'm going to ask that you hit the bell so you'll know the next time a video of mine comes out. And I just want to thank you for being a part of this video. I really do appreciate you. I really do. I'll see you on the next video. See you there. Have an awesome day.